So today's topic video is going to be a DC question that I've gotten a whole lot. So with that in mind, let's get into DC on TV.
I don't have a theme song, so this is a placeholder.
And before we start this video, let me just say, if you guys like this shirt, we do offer a service where you can get such shirt as this. It's our one-up. I did an unboxing right here. Let's put that right here. You guys can check out some of the cool stuff. It's the cheapest Loot Crate type of box you can get every month. So go check it out if you guys like what you're seeing here. Okay, so let's get into this. Should DC Comics possibly span out to services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and things like that? The simple answer is yes. But there's a more complex answer that I hope to get in here. Here's how I look at it. Now, Netflix is pretty much set the bar for what is possible on TV. You know, they make everything they do so amazing. You know, there's a long-form story arcs in these stories. It looks like a movie. They really go out there and they get some of the best things you can for, you know, talent, for the production companies and everything. So they're really high up there. So when you're comparing something like Daredevil, you know, Marco Polo, Peaky Blinders, you know, House of Cards, all these shows, you're comparing them to something like Gotham or Arrow or Flash even. They're miles above, and that of course stands because of how much time and dedication they can put in it. They're not on network TV. When you look at Flash or Gotham, Arrow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the reason those shows don't stack up to the Netflix original is because the Netflix original series really have a lot, and I mean a lot of time and production and money put into these. I mean, and of course they're a smaller scope. You know, there are usually 12 to 13 episodes. So when you get into that, should, you know, something like that happen with DC? And I honestly think it should. You know, I think DC has a great, you know, foothold on TV currently. Arrow seems to be fixing the direction they're going, so hopefully that gets a lot better. Flash has been great to amazing most of the time. There's only been a few duds in there. Gotham exists. Supergirl, I watched the pilot. I highly enjoyed the Supergirl pilot. Way more than I probably should. Way more. I really loved Supergirl. I don't know what it is about me. Maybe I have to rewatch the first episode or when it's recut officially for TV. So, and obviously when we look at that, they have a few more shows coming out, which I do have to list. They have Teen Titans coming out. Titans or Blackbirds, I think was the code name. I don't know. I can't remember right now off the top of my head. It's a little early in the morning. And Papa was drinking some good old cough medicine last night, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, you know, they have Legends of Tomorrow coming out, which is in the Arrow and Flashverse, which looks pretty damn good. But the CG's a little cheap, which I obviously mentioned, Netflix versus network TV, and 22 episodes versus 12. And of course I have Krypton coming out, which, that's still a thing? And there's probably a few more shows in development. So when we really look at it, what could and what should go to Netflix? When I think about this, the obvious choice of something like Netflix would be a Nightwing TV series. For me personally, of course, you could literally pick up the series at the moment that Dick Grayson is literally leaving Wayne Manor. You don't even have to show. You could just, we know the character is. If we're tuned into this, we don't need all the backstory. Maybe you could do a little bit of flashbacks here and there like a Daredevil did, but just pick up with him on a motorcycle, backpack, leaving Wayne Manor. We see Wayne Manor, you know, as he leaves it. We know what the story is. Maybe he can enter a monologue about some of the fighting they've done, you know, how they don't agree with each other, and that's it. Pick up 6 months later, here he is, you know, he's in Bloodhaven, he's doing his own thing. And you have to Daredevil the hell out of that show. It has to be real feeling. So you take that Nolan aesthetic, but you bring it into the comic world, much like Daredevil did. For a lot of people that hate, you know, Chris Nolan, and don't get me wrong, I don't like The Dark Knight Rises either. I hate that movie. But I think Batman Begins is a perfect vision of, you take a comic book character, you set him in a real world, and you somehow meet that vision in the middle. Daredevil does that extremely well. I mean, when a lot of people watch Daredevil, in the back of their mind, they know that it's set in the MCU, but it's hard to believe that it is because of the way it's structured, the way it's shot, the way it looks. So it's going to be a little jarring when you see Daredevil standing, you know, side by side next to Iron Man and Spider-Man, where there's this such violent, you know, world that coexists. They really have to do that. So I'm not saying you do Nightwing as a Nolan series. I'm saying you do Nightwing as a Nolan-inspired series. You have to go that more violent route. You have to show Bloodhaven the way it should be shown. Almost kind of like the Arkham games, honestly, would be my perfect vision of a style of TV show. It has to be architecturally, it has to look different, aesthetically, it has to be this visual palette. It has to be like an orgy in your mouth, okay? Like when you look at it, it has to stand out amongst everything else that's in its contemporaries. Meaning, it has to stand out from Daredevil, it has to stand out from the Avengers, it has to stand out from Batman v Superman, it has to stand out from Nolan. So it has to craft its own vision, which is something that honestly Gotham does really, really well. It does really well. Too bad the show sucks, but when you look at Gotham visually, it stands apart from the other comic book properties. It's just too bad the show is horrible. So in my mind, Netflix would be perfectly suited for something like, maybe even a Red Hood series. That'd be pretty cool. So, but Nightwing is definitely my number one. I would love to see that. So that is just one of the ones I have in there. Now, we could talk about the logistics of it because Netflix has a deal with Marvel to produce their TV series. So is there some sort of contract that binds them to not being able to produce DC series? Now, I know we're going to get brought up that, yes, certain things can appear on there, like Flash and Arrow and Gotham can appear on Netflix. That's because they're buying the rights to stream them. They're not actually paying at all for the production. They're not in bed with them. So, the logistics could get there, but if we could get a series somewhere, like maybe Amazon Prime or Hulu, I definitely think, that Nightwing would be the best choice. So there it is. That's my Ask Armin some BS for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, if you like BS, check it out right there. There'll be a thing right there. Yeah, there's more BS right there. So thank you for joining me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any other questions you would like for this series, leave them down below. Fucking racist Hulk Hogan.
So thank you for watching the video, and if you guys like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, check out some of these other great videos we have on the channel. Just click the annotation right there, it'll take you to them. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a good one.